Now let us calculate torque on current carrying loop and principle of electric motor. This is axis of rotation. You are taking a loop and it is current carrying loop in which current I is passing through. This is segment 1, 2, 3 and 4. For this square loop there are 4 segments. Now as magnetic field is given right side, magnetic field is in this direction. This conductor will experience a force. Each conductor will experience a force. Now segment 1. On this segment 1, there will be, see this is segment 1. This is segment 1. What is force experienced by that segment? See, magnetic field is right side, current carrying conductor is left side, both are parallel to each other. Therefore, like parallel in the sense like they are opposite to each other. Theta will be 180. So sine 180 will be equal to 0. Therefore, force on first part is equal to force on third part will be equal to 0, since sine 0 is equal to sine 180 is equal to 0. And coming to the next part, which is second loop, second segment and fourth segment. On this second segment, current carrying conductor is outward. And in this fourth segment, current carrying conductor, current is inside. Now current as it is coming towards my side, magnetic field is left side. You can use Fleming's left hand rule and you can calculate force acting upon it. Current is towards my side, force is right side, magnetic field is right side. So this thumb represents my direction. Thumb is going upward. Therefore, force here on the second coil will be upward. Exactly in the fourth segment, current is reversed. That is the reason why it will obviously produce a force in downward direction. Because of that, the coil left segment is pulled upward, right segment is pulled downward. As a result, the coil would undergo rotation in this magnetic field. So it is that when a current carrying loop is placed in uniform magnetic field, it experiences a couple and rotate in field. So it will experience a couple and as a result it will rotate. Because now if I consider this is axis of rotation, this distance from here to here, from the axis I can take it as d, and from here to here I can take d, where d is the distance from the axis of rotation. We already know magnetic moment M is equal to N I A. I is area, I is current in the conductor, A is area of cross section. What is equation for torque? Torque is equal to R bar cross F bar. What is R? R is perpendicular distance, I can take it as d, and F is BIL. Okay, this gives you torque tau equal to I into L into D into magnetic field B. What is L into D? L is length. D is L is that particular length of the conductor. It is L. From here to here, this is L. And this is D. What is L into D? It is area. So area of this half coil, whatever I am taking, this is area of the half coil. So I can simply write I into A into B. I into A into B. Right? What is IA? IA is magnetic field. So this can be written as torque tau, which is equal to IA, that is M cross B. Right? This is M cross B. M cross B. So torque acting on the current carrying loop placed in external magnetic field is equal to M bar cross B bar, or you can write it as capital M into B into sine theta n cap, where this n cap is perpendicular to both magnetic moment and as well as magnetic field. So as a result of this, when you are placing a coil in external magnetic field, it is experiencing a torque, and this torque is upward. It is experiencing torque upward and it is experiencing torque downward. So whenever there is two opposite forces acting with respect to that axis, it will be rotated, and that is called a couple. So being in its own position, the coil will undergo rotation, and because of that coil rotation, electrical energy can be converted into mechanical energy. Electrical energy can be converted into mechanical energy, right? We are providing electrical energy, current we are giving, and because it is placed in external magnetic field, it itself is undergoing rotation, and that rotation is mechanical energy. So electrical energy gets converted into mechanical energy in this case. That is principle of constructing electric motor. Okay, the principle of constructing electric motor is conversion of electrical energy into mechanical energy. When you are placing a current carrying conductor in external magnetic field, it will undergo rotation, and due to that rotation, mechanical energy is produced. And that you can clearly understand in the animation which is provided here. Once you can see the animation, so that you can have a clear-cut idea. Now check it in this animation, a coil which is connected to a battery, and a coil is attached with two half rings. These rings are able to be rotated in between the carbon brushes of these two coils. Now it is being rotated because there is a force experienced by the coil. So as force is experienced by the coil in opposite direction, you can understand that. See here, this is force experienced right side. It is experiencing force right side, and this is experiencing force left side. And these are called half rings. And see, when the coil is rotated, for every rotation, what is happening? The contact of this ring get reversed. If I name this as A, if I name this as B, B is connected to negative terminal, A is connected to positive terminal in this rotation. After some instant, the coil get rotated. So when it is being rotated, B comes in contact with positive terminal, A comes in contact with negative terminal. As a result, current direction get reversed. As current direction get reversed, the force direction also get reversed. As a result, it is able to rotate continuously in external magnetic field, just if you provide slip rings and this battery. If you are sending some current into the coil, continuously it can be rotated. This is working principle of electric motor. And electric motors are used in almost all electrical appliances which we use in our home. In a mixer, we will be using electric motor. Grinder, we will be using electric motor. And in fan, we will be using electric motor. So everywhere the principle is same. Just you will be taking magnet, and in that magnet you will be taking some coil, and you will provide some current to that coil, and that coil will be rotated in external magnetic field. That's how electrical energy get converted into mechanical energy. This is torque acting on current carrying loop and the working principle of electric motor. Yeah. So when a current carrying loop is placed in external magnetic field, it get rotated. And when such loop is rotated in uniform magnetic field, work is said to be done. Now I want to calculate that work done. Work done is W, where you can write it as, we know work done W is equal to force into displacement. In rotational motion, we can just write it as W is equal to, force is analogous to torque, displacement is analogous to theta. Therefore, I can write dW is equal to torque tau into d theta, and I can integrate this in order to calculate net work done, which is theta 0 to theta, it is being rotated. And what is tau? It is mb into sine theta d theta. You can just integrate this. W is equal to mb. Sine theta integration is minus cos theta, and the limits are from 0 to theta. This gives you mb. I can bring that minus outside. It is cos theta minus of cos 0, which is equal to mb into 1 minus cos theta. This is net work done. If initial angle is 0, then net work done is this value. Suppose if coil is rotated between angles theta 1 to theta 2, then you can write W is equal to mb into cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2. Right? And this net work done is equal to potential energy stored. This net work done can be simply stored in the form of potential energy, and as the coil get rotated, work done is being stored in the form of potential energy, and that potential energy W is equal to U, which is, if initial angle, like you can take the same equation, it is m into b, and this is cos 0, like cos theta, where cos theta is the angle between magnetic moment and magnetic field. So therefore W is equal to U, which is m dot b. So remember that work done while rotating a coil in external magnetic field will provide some energy, and that energy is the dot product of magnetic moment and magnetic field. So we know that magnetic moment M is equal to NIA. This is one more equation, you need to keep it in your mind. This is work done in rotating a current carrying loop. Yes, look here. A circular loop of area 1 centimeter square. This is 1 into 10 power minus 4 meter square, carrying a current of I is equal to 10 ampere. It is placed in magnetic field B bar, which is equal to 2 Tesla, and this is I cap. Magnetic field is in the direction I, that means along positive x-axis. The loop is in xy plane with current in anti-clockwise direction. So the loop is placed in xy plane in which current is passing in anti-clockwise direction. Find the torque acting on the loop. You need to calculate torque on the loop. We know torque acting on the loop tau is equal to R bar, sorry, it's not R bar here. Torque tau is equal to mb into sine theta, where theta is the angle between m bar and as well as b bar. M is magnetic moment. So tau will be equal to, see, we have only one circular loop. So n will be equal to 1. I is current in the loop. A is area of cross section of the loop into magnetic field B, and theta is the angle between M bar and B bar. Now see, magnetic field is along x-axis, current carrying loop is placed in xy plane. It is in xy plane, that means like this. So exactly the area vector will be perpendicular to that of magnetic field. So it is like this. This is the direction of magnetic field. And you are placing a coil in this direction. This is in xy plane. If plane is in xy, the vector will be exactly perpendicular to this, and this is n cap. Okay, both are inclined by an angle of 90 degrees. So therefore, sine 90 is equal to 1. Right? I can now take sine 90 is equal to 1. This is tau equal to current in the loop into area of the loop into magnetic field B. Directly you can substitute those values here. Current in the loop is 10 ampere. Area of the loop is 10 power minus 4 meter square. Magnetic field is 2 Tesla. So tau is equal to 2 into 10 power minus 3 and it is Newton meter. This is torque acting on the current carrying conductor. Yeah. So students, in this problem, we have like a metallic wire is folded to form a square. This is a square loop and it is mentioned its side is A. And it carries a current I, and let me take, this is current I in anti-clockwise direction, and this is placed perpendicular to uniform magnetic field. You are placing this, it is kept perpendicular to uniform magnetic field. So like magnetic field, I can take it as B into. Okay. Now if the shape is changed, loop is changed from square to a circle. Now what I am doing, I am changing this loop into a circle, and magnetic field is the same. It is into, in which current passing is I, and this has some radius R. Length of the wire is not changed and current is also not changed. Magnetic field is also not changed. How much amount of work is being done in doing so? You need to calculate how much amount of work is being done. Now in order to calculate work done, first I will find out potential energy here, and then I will find out potential energy here. In this same magnetic field, I am doing work. Therefore, there is some change in the potential energy from work energy theorem. From work energy theorem, we can write work done is equal to change in potential energy of the object. Now U1, which is equal to m dot b, and this is cos 0, because plane and magnetic field are perpendicular. It means area vector will be parallel to magnetic field. Therefore angle is 0, cos 0. U1 is equal to magnetic moment m is equal to, there is only one loop here, it is Ni into A into B. So U1 will be equal to, of course, potential energy should be taken negative. It is minus I into area of cross section is side into side, that is A square, into magnetic field is B, that is U1. Right? Now I want to find out magnetic field here, U2, which is like, sorry, potential energy here. u2 will be equal to minus mb into cos 0. u2 will be equal to I a area of the loop into magnetic field B, that is u2. But what is area of the loop? u2 will be equal to minus I into pi r square into B. Okay, now this is u1 and u2 values we have calculated. Now as we know, length of the loop should be equal to length of circle. Therefore, what is length of the loop? 4a, which is equal to length of the circle, that is 2 pi r, and it is 2. I can take radius r is equal to 2a divided by pi. This is r. Take this r and substitute in equation 2. Work done W is equal to u final minus u initial. U final is minus I pi into 4a square divided by pi square into magnetic field B. Minus of minus will become plus I a square into magnetic field B. Work done W is equal to I into B. I am taking it common, and a square also I am taking it common. It is 1 minus I a square B. I have took it out. This pi and pi gets cancelled. What is left over here? There is only 4 in the numerator and divided by pi. Okay, anything else? B a square I have took it out. So total work done W is equal to I B a square into pi minus 4 divided by pi. This is net work done. This is net work done in changing the square loop into circular loop. Yeah, students, here is current carrying loop. This is current carrying loop in which current is I naught, and this current I naught is inward. Current carrying loop, that is inward, and let me take, this is x-axis. Like I'll just draw this figure a little bit big. Right. So in order to calculate torque, tau is equal to r bar cross f bar. Either you can use this relation or m bar cross b bar. Okay, you can use either this relation or this relation. And in this case, magnetic field is produced due to straight current carrying conductor. So magnetic field due to straight long current carrying conductor is B equal to mu naught I naught divided by 2 pi into R, and this is non-uniform. Why it is non-uniform? Because this R value is not constant for the loop. See here, R value it is A, and here R value it is B. R is not constant, so therefore it is variable. Now whenever there is variable magnetic field, you need to use the procedure of integration and differentiation. So we solve this by using differentiation and integration. So we will be using differentiation and we will be finding out. Now for that, what I do, this is magnetic, like magnetic field produced here will be in which direction? Magnetic field produced will be in upward direction. Check it out. current carrying is into. So not upward, I'm sorry. You can use right hand rule and you can find out magnetic field. Current carrying conductor is into, current is going inside. So you should put your thumb inside. So when I put my thumb inside, the four fingers which are representing here, these four fingers represent magnetic field. So magnetic field will be like this. Magnetic field will be in this direction. So for this straight current carrying conductor, magnetic field will be in this direction. This is the direction of magnetic field. This is straight current carrying conductor. I'll just this is the direction of magnetic field. Check it up. Because of that current carrying conductor, magnetic field is in this direction, which I have represented with blue color arrow marks. And this magnetic field is not uniform, it's variable, because from here to here it is changing. For that, what I do, I'll take one small element here. I'll take one small element here. You can take one small element here. The same element you can take it here. You are taking one small element, and same element I can take it here, and length in between these two elements I can take it as L. Between these two elements I can take it as L. Now this element is situated at a distance R from the current carrying wire. I'm taking this small element distance as R. Now in order to, like, whenever current carrying conductor is placed in external magnetic field, what would happen? Definitely it will experience a force. Now first let me calculate force acting on the conductor. Force dF is equal to B magnetic field into I into dr. Where B is magnetic field, I'll write it over there. dF is equal to mu naught into current is I naught into 2 pi. That element I am taking at R. So it is R into I. I is current in the conductor and this is dr. Okay. Now this is a dF. Now in order to calculate torque, we have relation tau is equal to dF cross R bar. What is R? R is perpendicular distance where force is acting, and that perpendicular distance, it is, you can take this as you need to first find out that perpendicular distance. So this is F dF we have got. Let me find out perpendicular distance. Yeah, perpendicular distance dF R perpendicular. So R perpendicular is this length from here to here. Okay. Now you can take one right angle triangle. This is theta and this side it is R. Obviously it will become R sine theta. And what about this? It is R sine theta. What is this total perpendicular distance? It is R perpendicular, which is dF into 2R sine theta is perpendicular distance. Now you can calculate tau is equal to dF. Already we have got it here, mu naught I naught divided by 2 pi small r. This is of course d tau. I'm sorry, this is d tau into dr into 2r sine theta. This r and this r gets cancelled. 2 and 2 gets cancelled. Tau is equal to mu naught is constant, I naught is constant divided by pi is constant, and leftover will be sine theta is also constant, integration dr. For this dr, limits will be a to b. this will be equal to mu naught I naught divided by pi sine theta into dr integration is r, upper limit is b minus lower limit is a. This is final torque acting on the current carrying conductor.